Play Black Land. Thanks for listening, and I really appreciate it. Leave a comment and all that of what you think about what we talked about. I definitely want to hear it. But
Yeah.
so for background music, we got down tempo, lo-fi, chill hop, and future pop. Do you have explanation to any of those?
Uh, hmm. The third one, I guess.
Yeah, chill hop.
Oh, that's the last one. No, the one before that.
Lo-fi is the one before.
Okay.
That's the one you want?
Oh, wow. Is that the one you want? Should I
Either one's
choose?
pretty cool. I was like
Okay.
wondering what you were thinking. But okay, lo-fi. It's a vibe. Why not? I'm picking it. And then gonna let people know. Do all the sharing and caring and all of that.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Talisha.
Hey everybody. Thanks for making it. How y'all doing? Yeah, much missed too, Like, I get that things happen and all that, but always here. And I do have a music video coming out soonish. It's just like, when you're trying to make something and you just like, I gotta go over it like 4th or 5th time to make sure I'm really knowing it. Because it's like, whenever you're creating videos or whatever, a lot of the time, it'll be like so, dang, I wish I went over this completely so I could have caught that thing. And then it's like, it's not worth it trying to redo it. So it's like, I might as well just go over it like before I even try to like put it out. Because I always do that. Like, there's always like a corner that I'm missing,
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron.
Okay, I hear you. Well, we're here, do talk and stuff, and then yeah.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put the copy pasties. Don't think I'm ignoring anybody. I have copy pasties to say. No. I hear you. Be careful, okay?
Oh, wow. Sorry, Tanisha. Hope you feel better soon.
Hey.
Hi, Amy.
Welcome and thanks for being around. All good. I figured you. Yeah, just be careful about stuff like that, It's interesting because on Restream you can like have these quotes that you want. You can just like keep them up.
Oh.
And it's like they're typed up so you don't have to like, always have to go back to the original thing or whatever. Which is pretty freaking useful,
Yeah.
Like this, it's back. Oh, I didn't click it right. Now it's back.
Like this.
Whoopsies.
Wait, it's not.
Yes. Cool emojis. All the tins, yeah, right. And hey, Amy Seasim, what's your favorite colors? If you want to talk about it, I always ask people who come around just so I can know. You never know. Like, that's a good thing to know, and it's also colors are cool. Get like a whole everything with all the stuff, you know. We'll get it. Oh yeah. Can play a little. Oh, it's already 5 minutes. That was pretty. It goes by way faster than you expect. But I mean, we still can play a little bit of the silver banana game, I guess.
Oh, I see which the purple rain.
Dry asphalt.
Well, it's dry. It's
Exactly.
Then golden grass.
Okay. Blue sun.
Diamond trees.
Blue's a nice color. I'm glad you're here though. Thanks for that. Me too.
We're all tired.
Yeah. It's a bit at the end of the day when you finally get everything together and stuff, it's still like getting everything together, you know?
Yeah.
Then I'm still tagging people and letting them know where I'm at. Okay. Fuchsia oranges.
What else? Blue lava.
We have a few ideas we're going to talk about. The first thing is about what our perception of television was and how we thought of it, like, in the past to now, which I thought was a really cool concept that was, like, brought up by Vamp and stuff, because of, like, just, yeah. Like, how did you think about it? If you want to talk about it now.
I mean, like, when I was younger, I just thought that people were doing everything. You know, I thought that if they were filming like scenes in a high building, like they were actually in a really tall building, like risking their lives. I didn't know they had like stuntmen, or I didn't know that when they were fighting, that they were not actually fighting. But actually, I think for a long time, actors and actresses, they had to take slaps, like actual slaps. They were actually slapping each other.
Yeah, like that was definitely a thing.
Yeah,
I don't think they could CGI that. I mean, they didn't really have CGI at the time when they were like faking or like having to not fake slaps. Because you could tell, because it was like people's faces would literally have like the handprint on them and stuff. It was like, dang. You know?
Yeah, and they were definitely slapping each other, and then they just, I don't know. I guess they were like, yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. We're just going to pretend like we're not act. so we're going to pretend like we're doing it. But for the longest time, people were actually taking slaps. Like women were getting slapped by guys if they were in like a scene in which a guy is abusive or whatever. They were like
Literally
actually,
getting beat. Because it's like,
yeah,
oh my goodness. That's just
yeah.
so. Hollywood is so messed up. Jesus Christ. Oh my
But like, it's not just
goodness.
Hollywood. In like soap operas too.
Yeah, like any
It's
production,
how
any major
is it?
production.
Yeah, they were like hiya, and they were like actually. And then like I saw in a lot of them making mistakes, like even when it's rehearsed and all that, and they're like, okay, we're gonna film the slap scene, and then the actress, instead of the person who's going to receive the slap, instead of turning the way they were supposed to, they turned the opposite way and they actually got slapped because
Oof.
they thought the person was going to slap them with the right hand, and then they just turned the other way or whatever, and they would actually get slapped. They were like, oh, because
Yeah.
they forgot where to turn their to turn their face. But that, and
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like watching a video of a black and white movie with what's his name, Buster Keaton, I think it's his name, was his name. And he was like doing a lot of stunts and he would do them himself, but like how a lot of scenes, like he was actually doing all of the stunts himself, and it was insane, all the things that he could do. But there was this other guy,
Yeah.
there's like this scene in which he's hanging from a clock, and then like he's supposed to be like really high in the air, and it was just a trick, the way they used to film a lot of those scenes. Because they didn't have special effects or CGIs, like stuff like that back then, so they had to come up with ideas and making like models to put them in front of the camera to give the illusion of the person being in like a really high place, or like a person, um, to put them in a situation in which it looked like they were gonna fall into like a deep hole or like something like that, and they were not really in danger. It was just like it was just a trick of the eye, haha.
Yeah, like there's a whole. I mean, I know that people they did a whole thing of stuff, but it is kind of interesting how like a lot of the time, like you'll have people that were stunt actors and they look so much alike to the actual actors. It's like wow, a whole lot of
Uh-huh.
business, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, especially like the choreography that it takes for people to be able to do these things and be able to like all that. But then I'm glad that we've gotten better about that because we can't just be having people be beat up, you know, like Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness, like it's just kind of like wild, I guess, how much people like throw themselves on the line of danger for acting. People are like, oh, it's so great and stuff, and I'm like, you're literally getting hurt for like what, like fame, I guess, and like the camera, and like,
Yeah, but like
yo,
this,
Schmolly, hey,
the
and hey,
stuntmen are the
Marcelo.
ones who the stuntmen are the one they do all the dangerous work, and then the ones who take the credit are the actors, because they don't get a lot of credit, I feel.
Yeah. And it's like people don't really think about like the people like taking the cameras, doing the things. You know, they don't think about like all of the grunt work that has to be put into place for all of this. And it's like, Jesus Christ, because you know everyone like the work deserves like where it's due and stuff. But then like so many people just do not get recognized, so they don't really get paid that well compared to like the main faces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no, it's not just the main face doing all the work, you know, that way about it. But so
Yeah.
many of them, they try and act like, I don't know, it's really weird how it's always like so the main characters, and other people don't exist creating the things, and then like, you know, the credits, the thing's small as shit, no one can even see who the fuck it is after a while. Like, like it's all sped up and blurry.
Solo.
Yeah, like it's so, oh goodness. And
I just don't
with
think the actors did everything. I'm sorry.
yeah, like that's how they made it. They really made it seem that that's what they did. Like the actors did everything out of everyone else, which is kind of like not really. I don't get why that's like the default all the time to like have people take other people's, like, I don't know, it's their work and take their what they did and that like it was all someone else. Like, what does that happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When the like, wouldn't there be more honor in just like acknowledging what you did and then like, you know, like doing better? Why is it always we gotta harbor everyone else's work and I gotta act like it was all me because
I think that
reasons, I
actors,
guess.
I think the way actors see it is that, okay, let me just post a picture with my stunt double, or like, yeah, let me just post a picture, and I think that's the way they're like, okay, I am giving credit to the person who's like making this happen, and I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's all. It's like a lot of people will do like bare minimum, barely recognize, and never speak of it again, and then it just like goes into, you know, like, what is it? The word, it just goes. I want to say discrepancies, and that's not the word. It goes into Team Rocket blasting off again, basically, and no one talks about it. Yeah.
And then like the stunt people, they have to like train so much, and they have to be doing it perfectly, and like it's they have to do so much. Hey,
Yeah. Hey, Jenny. A joke about skillful thieving, but can't think of any. Why though? I don't know. A lot of different. Yeah. Thieving skillfuls, you know? Taking all the skill points. Can you imagine if someone took your skill points? I'd be mad as fuck. Like, what the fuck do you mean you took my skill points, you know? Like, if that realistically happened real life. But that's kind of like what people do anyway. Hi, Veda. What's up?
Yeah, that's what it anyway. They're like,
yeah.
Oh, you made this cool digital art, mine now. Let me take all of these.
I just don't get why people are so. It's like fucks are jealous about the fact that they didn't make stuff or something. They didn't do stuff, and they act like, oh, now it has to be mine or like whatever. And I'm like, why can't you just make your own thing? Why do you have to take someone else's? Like, it's so skeevy, you know?
Because they can't. But I don't think it's like they're like, oh, I'm jealous, let me take it. No, I think they're like, oh, thanks. Now I get to like make people believe it. I did this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's what I mean. Like, because they're taking someone's work and they thought it was good enough to steal, I guess. It's like they can't even create their own work, so they have to be like on some level like envious, I guess, in the sense of where they'll literally take it and then use it as if it's theirs when it's definitely not. And it's like it'd be so much more worth it for people to like just make their creations, you know, instead of like taking other people's work. I can't imagine like being okay with that. Like, I feel like just as an artist, as someone who loves to create and loves helping people, loves seeing people create and like helping people find this sound, however the case. I'm just like, why would you not want to find your own sound? Like, I can't get in the headspace of like someone being that full of shit, I guess.
I think if people had powers, right, and then people were able to like steal them and just take them all, they would do that.
Well, there's literally like, you ever heard of My Hero Academia?
I have heard, but I've never watched it.
There's literally like these characters, and there's this one character called All for One. As like a foil to the One for All person, who is like the hero kind of thing or whatever. But the All for One person, they take all of the superpowers they want, and they manipulate it and put it in however they want. And it's like it shows like the sheer depravity, I guess, of someone who's willing to take what other people have and the will and all of that stuff just to like create something. I guess you could call it blasphemous in a way, just because it's like stitched up nonsense in a way. Because I mean, they're very hard to fight. It's really like they literally make zombies that will fight like, and they have like compacted magic or something because of all of this. Like it's a whole like superpower science. I think you might get into if you actually watch the anime. I've watched like a few seasons. Like I think I'm on the 3rd season now.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, there's like a super villain that literally takes people's, things.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really frustrating to see. I mean, like, perfect antagonist, but still, I wouldn't want to fucking fight that fucker. I just wouldn't. I'm
just
like I'm heroic and I'm smart. What were you gonna say? Oh, did I break? Oh goodness. Oh, so it was Vamp. Oh no! Vampirino! You see, things happen. Hey again.
Hey. My internet.
It really be the internet, I understand. I mean, I literally, like, put you on my panel by accident before. Not... Oh my goodness. Did he say in Vamp did a crit 6? And I mean, I did do that to you a couple of times. It's not the worst thing in the world. No need to apologize. But, what were you saying? Were you in the middle of something?
You were just telling me that you would not want to fight that fucker.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to fight that fucker. I simply wouldn't. No. Okay. So, was there anything else that you were thinking about, like about film and how he perceived as like... Okay. Oh yeah, I guess we could talk about how it's like... I remember being a kid, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like... When you look at the actors, you really think that they really truly believe that. Like, that's not someone acting, that's the actual character, right? And they just exist. Right?
Yeah, you think that
And
people are dying.
yeah, like, you think they're actually dead. Like I'm like crying over this, like with the
Yeah.
funeral and all that stuff. And it's like I remember being mad at like an actor for like a few years until I realized that, oh, that's an actor. They did that on purpose. That wasn't just some mean asshole guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's
Yeah.
really funny because I mean it says something when you're so believable that people literally think that you're actually like that in it. But then I think it also goes into effect how a lot of people that just play themselves and call it acting. But then there's also people that are like, you know, the more you do something, the more it can become ingrained in your like personality and identity if people aren't careful enough too, which is interesting. But something I always think I'd be mindful of.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
I thought you were gonna say something.
Uh-huh. And how the turns have tabled. Dun, dun. Goodness.
And how to say that actors who play like characters who are horrible people, that how they are able to play them well because that's how they are. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard people talk about that like that too.
And I'm like, I don't know, but maybe, you know?
I mean, there's some people where that's definitely the case. I think it's probably like a case by case kind of thing. Just how people go around acting, but like, you know, like the acting industry is full of a lot of, just a lot. Like a lot of different types of people, a lot of different types of eccentricities, idiosyncrasies, stuff like that. And a lot of people, they find their own form of like what they are inspired by to act in the first place. And it kind of say a lot what people draw from whatever and like how they maneuver outside of, you know, the screen as well. Because I mean, yeah, if someone's an asshole and they always play assholes and they're an asshole to people, they probably know their role pretty well. You know, like
I'm like,
I'm just saying.
Me? You wanna pick me to be me? Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and then it's interesting though. Like, when you think of like production for TV and stuff, how did you originally think of it, and how do you think of it now? I guess like with how long it takes, and do you mind waiting a long time for production to genuinely like be created?
Yeah, I rather like not only when it comes to like films or like shows, also when it comes to books. I'm like, hey, if it's gonna take you 3 years to write this really awesome book, like or like the second book or like the third, whatever, I'm like, I'm completely fine with that. I'd rather wait than you rushing it. It's the
Same.
I feel the same with movies. I feel the same with shows.
Yeah, any media, any production, any creation at all. I'd rather someone take their genuine time.
Yeah.
It's just that so many production places, they like rush this so much. It's like, I guess it's because it's like sometimes people go into debt just by like all the money that they put out to get things created, and they have like a deadline and stuff. And I'm like, because they're always trying to shove to go to the next project too, and I think that's why people are getting so much crappy film out now. Like at least like I'm not saying that all film's crappy, because honestly, I've seen a lot of really amazing, innovative indie works. But it's just that like mass-produced media has been very, let's do this, let's shove it to the side. Let's do this, let's shove it to the side. Let's hurry up and rush this so we can make sure we do it. And they don't really actually care about the message. They don't care about like what they're putting forward. They don't care about the people that they're putting in, as long as they're a pretty enough face for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or it's like cameos. Like I can't. Okay, I'm just gonna be straight up. I am so sick of the media trying to sell Pete Wentz to me. Stop it. Stop it. Like the Kardashians, stop it. Like I'm sick of seeing these commercials about how this is like the best horror movie or the best whatever they're doing, because I literally don't care. And it just seems like they're always trying to shovel like bullshit down our throats. Like all the time, and it pisses me off. I'm like, dude, like, who do you think I am? You know, like, I kind of feel like I want to say that to somebody. Because I keep fucking doing it. Like, I can't tell you how many freaking, like, how the fuck am I gonna get, like, the same fucking ad over and over for this one person? He's not in anything else. And I have to keep seeing this. I don't even like the fucker. Like, please. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, Google, do you hear me? Please stop.
Yeah. I used to have like those commercials. I don't like them. I'm like, okay. Thanks, but not yeah.
Right.
But like when you were talking about like waiting, an example that happened recently was this manga that is called The Way of the House Husband, and then like it became popular quickly. So then they were like, okay, we're gonna animate it. So then anime of The Way of the House Husband, and everybody was like, oh my god, and then when it premiered on Netflix, it was very little of it was animated. Pretty much it was kind of like a slideshow. Like that's what it was. And then people were like, oh my god, I can't believe it. OMG. Everybody they were extremely disappointed because they rushed to make it, and then it was not really, they were just showing like pictures there, like it was so like, what the fuck is this? It was kind of like a slideshow. So then they were like, oh yeah, The Way of the slideshow instead of like The Way of the House Husband. And I was like very disappointed because I was like, oh man, I wish they had waited until they could actually, animate it, because it would have been
prove
really
the
cool
whole thing.
Yeah,
because I mean, I like slideshows, and I think it's like, it's an art that's not fully recognized for a lot of stuff, because there's this not an interactive novel, but it's basically like a novel bits of like slideshows, but they kind of interact, or like they shake a little bit, or it's kind of like you can see them kind of moving slowly into something to really like, accentuate the movement of like, the story. And like, if you just do like little things like that, you don't have to do like a whole like Into the Spider-Verse, you don't have to like you don't have like, people, they think that they have to have everything with money shoveled down its throat all the time, but it's like, if you just have like genuine heart and genuine time worked on it, people are gonna fucking love it, especially just because they see that it's a creation that someone put their time into. And like,
but I think that because they were like, oh yeah, the anime, the anime is gonna come out, so then it was not really.
Yeah, people, they expected what they didn't get, and like, they should have said what they had instead of like, because too many people rush so many things. Yeah.
Or like, they could have said, oh, we're planning on doing it like this, and then people would have been like, oh, okay, I get it. It's going to be a mixture of animation with like, stills moved like in ways that accentuates the what's happening, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like zooming in or whatever. But it's I wish they had waited to so that they could do the full animation. And it's a great actor, the voice actor.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great actor. But hey, that's what
I
happened.
totally get you. That's what happens when you rush, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because people that always put into thinking that their consumption, like their only worth is like what people can consume of them, what they can produce or whatever. But I'm like, I've always been more of a quality more than inherently quantity person. Because so many people, they're like, as long as I have like 100 something things, they're all inherently good. And I'm like, that's not going to be the case. And people need to stop that, you know. But yeah, like that Broken Saints interactive thing that I was showing, that they have like 4 seasons or something. I actually have like the DVDs, right? Because I found it like an old like video game shop that I was around, and it's so good because it's like so thoughtful about what people have gone through. You can see the emotion drawn on their faces, you know, as it like moves through the things and stuff. And it's like, it's just that's animated, but it's not like the whole thing. And I just wanted to say it was like so freaking cool. And I don't know, maybe could watch it. It'd be cool to review. I've thought about it, but I haven't watched through all of it yet. I got like through like 2 of the DVDs, but yeah, it's like people are always like they're made into thinking that they have to always produce, and they need to have everything out like immediately. And it's really sad because it's actually giving a lot of people across like various media like honestly crap, because it's like being so rushed. Like people are being like, wow, I don't even want this because rushed. And I really don't like it because it also makes me think of like how especially for like video games and stuff, people always like, they'll try and sell people unfinished product, and they're like, hey, here's a $60 game, it's not finished, there's a bunch of glitches, but here you go, we're not gonna fix it or pay attention to it for a while, and you're just gonna suffer, you know. It's stuff like that that's just bullshit. Like, I'm like, why don't you at least want your consumers to get a genuinely whole project, you know? Like, why all of this?
Yeah, that's so true. Like I think that they're like, okay, this is what we have for now. Take it, and we will make it better as we go. How about let's do that. Yeah. Instead of like selling the finished product or like the polished, I don't know, the good version. I don't even know how to say it. But you get me, right?
Yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying. It makes sense.
Money.
Money. Blah. That concept that people made up and decided to put above everyone's heads, as if people didn't make up money. Ha! What a joke. It's such bullshit, truly. It's such fucking bullshit. I'm just like, oh my god, it's just fucking paper. Like, people literally make up money to the point where they just dump like trillions of dollars of nothing and act like they did something, and it goes away with like stocks or whatever, like in 2 days and shit. I'm like, do you not see the dissonance of why this shit just should not be put above it? It's nothing. It's what is literally worthless, and you can't even take it with you when you die. Like, what's the point? What is the point? I don't understand it. But okay. So we were talking about what?
Jenny reading you.
Oh, I'm being read right now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on screen, support me. Hey, I'm not going through YouTube. I'm not monetized on there. I'm not monetized on Twitch, and that's because I don't like people cutting through my product after like it's my creation. It's like, you know, and the thing is, they always have like a bunch of fucking clauses once you monetize and stuff, and I just hate it. I'm like, never mind. Don't make this more difficult. Nah. Hey, Babel.
Hey,
You want to come
Damien.
up? I'm talking about various things. Yeah. I totally get you, Jenny. She was like, no, you live in a society and all that. It was just funny paired with the EU money. It's fair. That's a fair statement.
The shade.
Oh, it's the shade. You know, it's the jade, because Jenny said, you know? So, like, did you want to talk about how people episodes of podcasts and stuff?
Oh well, did you know that? Did you know that they record them like in advance? Or like little shows. For example, I watch I watch like some shows that on YouTube, right? Like they're small and like whatever. But I just thought that they recorded them weekly, and no, that like they record like episodes in advance. They just change their clothes, or they change like their lipstick, or like they change things so that it looks like, oh yeah, we are here in a new episode, and like, you know, it's a different day. But no, it's just, I didn't know, but like it makes sense that they do it like that. And like But imagine though, like getting together, right, and then recording like podcasts all day. Well, but I guess if people are making, like, if that's the way they make money, I guess it's just work.
Yeah.
But like,
and then you're just talking on the thing.
But like, imagine though, for me, I think it would be so draining to
all
just have one day.
Yeah, all of it just on there. Yeah, like I probably wouldn't be able to just do it all like that, unless it's like I'm doing something that's like, maybe if I'm doing something that's like a saga and I want to keep in my flow or something, you know, something like that. But if I'm just like doing a podcast of like various things, I would probably rather do it like weekly, honestly. I feel like but it makes sense. I kind of figured that like people might have, you know, like had things prepared, you know, in advance before they actually put it out by season or something. Because I mean, that's the easier way to do it, so you have them ready. You know, it makes sense. But I know there's also people who do stuff that's just weekly. You know, it's live, it's chill, it's whatever. I guess it just kind of depends on the person, what they like.
Yeah. I thought that they used to like the way they used to film movies or like TV shows or whatever. I thought they did them like every scene. I thought that's the way they filmed it. I didn't know that if they're going to be like filming scenes outside, that they're just filming all the fucking scenes that they have to film outside. They do that shit for as long as they have to do it, and then that's done. And then all the scenes that they have to do on set, they do it on set. So I was like, wait, so people just show up and then they're like, yeah, today you're going to cry a lot because you're really sad about whatever that's happening. And that can be like the first day, like the first day they show up to film this movie, and they're like, okay, today you're gonna have a sex scene, like this sex scene, or today you're gonna have like the fight that's going to happen, like you're gonna be arguing, and then like you have to be like, okay, and then they just act like all the story that's happened in the movie, like, yeah, okay, yeah, I've been with this person and all that. I had no idea. They're like going back and forth with they don't really film it chronologically. They just they just do whatever or whatever they're supposed to do that day. To me, I was like, but how do they do that? How the actors? I mean, how they? I guess that's
Yeah.
what the director comes in, right, in the script.
Yeah, like they have the script. It tells them how to do the things or what they're supposed to try and emulate. I guess after a certain point, you just end up getting it. But then it's also, you do have the director who can direct if they're like worth their salt, I suppose.
To
But I
me, I
mean, it
was
also
like,
kind of depends, huh?
yeah. I just thought that's how they filmed it. Like, yeah, the way the movie begins or the show, I thought that's how they did it, and no, that's not how they do it.
I totally get you.
How did you think they filmed the movies? I thought like inside, like whenever they're filming like families, they're usually the way their houses look, you can see the living room and the kitchen in the same room, almost like they have like an open floor plan. And I thought they were like inside an actual house. I didn't know it was like a set, like a little box.
Yeah. Which is really interesting, because honestly, I didn't realize that. I thought that they would actually be inside the house when they were recording, and it wouldn't be like like those open, just it's like an open
Like a
spot
box.
or space. Yeah, like it's just like scenes that people have cut out so they can record it a lot of the time. And I didn't realize that was a thing. I thought they were literally inside of houses and stuff for like a really long
Yeah.
time, until I actually looked at like the like how people like film and stuff, and I just thought it was so cool. It's actually really interesting, because I'm like, okay, that's a really cool design for people to be able to even like think of it this way, like a carved out house, like it's
Yeah.
interesting.
They're filming inside a doll's house.
Filming is, yeah.
They are in a dollhouse. That's because that's how dollhouses look from the back. In the front, they have like the really pretty pristine floor, like the door and like everything. But in the back, you have the rooms open like that.
That's interesting. I really like it.
Yeah. So and then like I didn't know they could take them apart like on wheels. Like they just are putting the walls together and then like they're just taking them apart and then just taking them, I don't know, to a warehouse or what. I was like, what? What? To me, I was like, wow, this is insane to me.
Just absolutely bonkers. Wackadoodle dandy. All of that, yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense because it's like, imagine how many huge sets they would have. They would had accumulated over the years because of all the movies and all the shows and all the. It would be too much.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and then you can recycle these things too. All you gotta do is like probably make them a little different or something if you want, but it can still work out. It just depends on how people like use the things. And I mean, even if you like, you could even put them out of order in use to make it look like someone's going through different kinds of ways to get through the house and stuff. Like, you can break it up like a freaking Rubik's Cube if you want to,
I didn't know they had like little cities that are like, for example, New York, or like little sets that look like actual places. I didn't know that's where like Sex and the City. I thought they were filming it like literally in New York. Or like I didn't know they had all of this trickery. And I'm like, is anything real, you guys? Nothing is real.
All of this trickery.
It's lies. They're just lying to me,
How dare they lie to you, like, I just ought to pick them up and throw them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Hey, so like, what's your favorite like hot drink, if you have one?
Like hot drink?
Yeah, or cold,
Mm,
or medium, I guess. What's your favorite drink? I guess I should ask.
I like coffee and tea.
Yeah, coffee and tea is really good. I like honestly, I can have coffee like black, or I could have it like ice cream. You know, like
I
it's
don't
just
like
milk and
iced
honey.
coffee. I really don't like iced coffee. But I
Why?
like iced tea, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But
that's pretty
coffee,
good.
I've tried and I just don't like it. I don't like it cold.
You're probably like, I've had it hot too many times to go back now. Like I feel like that's the thing sometimes with people. Whenever it's like, you like a warm beverage,
Mm-hmm.
always only warm because it's like you're so
Yeah.
used to. It's like, why the fuck would I want that cold? Even your body's like, why the fuck? you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't recognize this. What's going on? It's like
Yeah.
trying to be coffee, but you need to heat it up then. If you wanna have it,
Mhm.
you heat it up.
Peppermint
Yeah.
tea is pretty good, though. I like the like peppermint. Like I always put like a peppermint stick in hot chocolate.
Ah, okay.
It's really good.
Yeah. I cannot have peppermint with chocolate. I don't like it like that.
No,
I
it's
don't like
fair. I don't do it all the time, but it's such a whole thing. All coffee is non-coffee. Like, I really like boba teas and like iced chai lattes or hot chai lattes or um like if it's iced coffee, I'll drink it. It's such a vibe because then it's like it's not burning me, and it's
Mhm.
coffee, you know. But then it's like iced coffee and the boba, little boba ball things. That's pretty
Mhm.
perfection to me. I'll drink them all if you won't.
No, I like mint, but I don't like it with chocolate. I like it just by itself. Like those mint candies, like
Yeah.
especially Christmas when I like those. But like on their own.
I'll give you all the mint beta. And I hate you. I was just like curious. I really like tea and coffee and lemonade a lot and like lime stuff as well.
Hmm.
Like the tart kind of stuff. It's a vibe.
I
Okay.
like lemonade too. Lemonade
It's
is
so
good.
good.
Like a summer drink is nice. I like it. It's cool.
Oh, and what I found out? That's kind of odd though. That I don't know if people even like. They're probably looking at me funny, but it's like when I was really sick, I was like, fuck, and we had orange juice, and I heated up the orange juice, and it was actually really good. Like,
Mm.
and I heated up lemonade too, and that was really good too.
Well, that's lemon tea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
Licorice tea. I never had licorice tea before. Oh, and you like mint chocolate, eh? Yeah, it is one of those either you love it or hate it flavor combos. Like, I like the mint chocolate ice cream, but it's like it has to be like a certain kind of like balance. Sometimes it's too minty or too top chocolatey, and they'll both get me mad. Like, I need a good balance for me to appreciate it. you know?
No, not me. I don't like it
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
just like, no, none of that. Please, no.
And
Your taste buds, God, no. Like, at the thought, I could tell.
worse, like I don't like chocolate and mint. And then like you're gonna make it cold. Nothing.
just it's not it.
Yeah,
It's
this
just
is
not happening.
it's not. That's not for me.
So
But a lot of people like.
okay.
So it's like,
Yeah, a lot of people do.
you eat that one, and I will eat this other one. You know.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, but it's kind of cool how like people's taste buds kind of seem to really complement each other in just like what people like or dislike. And so it's like if people get like a plate or something, and one person gets the stuff that they don't like, they can always just switch or something. I just like how that's just like kind of like humanity's little things or whatever. It's interesting. Even if like people are related or not, and then it's like various people have the same kind of taste buds or different taste buds or develop them kind of differently just by their choices as they go along like life and stuff, which is just interesting. Like wow, how people grow, you know, how we develop.
Yeah.
Jenny, licorice tea is like sweet on its own. It's weird, but I love licorice. What kind of licorice is it? Like, what color is it usually? But okay, Vamp. So, what do you think about how we perceive film making and how it has evolved over time? Since it's like we talk about old, but what do you think of it like? I suppose like now in the and maybe like what do you think? How do you think it could go in the future if we really want to like think about this?
I think that it's just going to become like just people are going to be making their own movies, like just regular people. It's going to be like that because people
Yeah, we're already doing it
don't
now.
want to go to the theater in the theater industry, going to the cinema and stuff like that. They're like, I don't want to be doing that shit. So they're trying to still force people into doing that, and people are like, yeah, no, I would rather like stay at home. Although directors and filmmakers, they hate that because they're like, yeah,
give me your money.
You need to enjoy it as I enjoyed it when I was a kid in the theater with the popcorn. And then it's like, people don't want to do that shit. No, people want the experience. People go to the theater because they want to
go into no theater, honestly.
And it's
like, the experience of like overpriced candy.
Overpriced candy, and then assholes talking and being on the fucking phone, and like, no, like I don't want to go to the fucking theater. I want to watch it in my house. So then I mean,
honestly,
yeah, I think that eventually, that's not gonna be a thing anymore. People are not gonna go to the theater.
It is already dying out, honestly. Just because it's like they're kind of like screaming their heads off with like chickens with their heads cut off, just because of like how they keep like going under or not like paying off like all the money they put into these things anymore. It's very apparent that that's what's happening for a lot of different projects, and it's like honestly, it's just so.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
I haven't been. Okay. Gotcha. There's your minute. You better not have 700 tabs open. That's they will freeze on you. Like that mint chocolate.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. My cat wanted to leave the room. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Like yeah, it's just dying out because a lot of them, they'll just like dump money into these same tropes, these same like not thought out things, and be like, oh, that's what the people want. But people are literally creating their own film now. Like, I mean, the entire scope of YouTube has gone like, and just creating and like making things has become its own thing that they are not catching up, you know, and they're not like really understanding or trying to like get people back because they're trying to be like, well, I like this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And
Yeah.
A lot of directors are like full of it. A lot of actors are full of it. A lot of people would rather like do things that they know and love and know the people too. You know, which you
Mm-hmm.
know that's pretty precious. I understand. You know, really wanting that to be the thing, and then there's also like people really creating. They don't have these directors don't have a chokehold on these things as they once
Mm-hmm.
did. I mean, like, yeah, it's easier for them to have neptists, all of the money dumped into things, but at the same time, I don't know. It kind of
Yeah.
seems like we're really doing away with this, acting like we need corporations to create kind of mindset that people had before. It seems like we're
Mm.
really running away from that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, because every time I start to see a new young actress, like in every movie, like out of nowhere, I just start seeing this one new actor or actress, like just everywhere in all fucking movies in lead roles. I'm like, whose daughter is this, or whose
Who's
son is this?
right?
And then
Like,
it
who,
turns
and then
out
you
that
find out they're
yeah,
like the
and
director's son or something.
if you look it up, she's the daughter or the niece or the something or like the nephew or yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they changed their name because I want people to know that I did it all on my own. It's like okay, no, you didn't.
Right?
Everybody
Like, you
knows.
wouldn't even gotten here.
Yeah.
It
So I
really
think it's going
shows.
to change. Yeah, I think it's like more people, creative people are like, fuck it, I'll just do it myself. And they're
Mm-hmm.
creating wonderful things. And there you go.
It's really
You know.
beautiful. Honestly, I really want to make a film and a comic and stuff like that. And I'm kind of getting there, but I'm not really like animator ready, I guess. 'Cause I'm still like getting into like actually like genuinely drawing because I can draw really well. It's just like kind of like, you know, the constant like trying to figure things out and stuff. I have to look at more tutorials, but
Hmm.
it'll come eventually.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, like I really want to. Like honestly, I had I drew like little comics when I was a kid, like in
Hmm.
kindergarten kind of stuff, right?
Hmm.
And all of my friends really liked it. Like I did like little I did like a little like it was kind of like my own little publishing comic thing or something, and then like my friends would read it every other
Hmm.
week or something. Like while I was doing it, it was really cute.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go to the next question? Or did we answer all of that?
But did you answer the question though?
Did I answer the question with the way that we perceive
Yeah.
filmmaking and how it's evolved over time? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you answered, but I didn't really fully answer. Okay. So, yeah, well, I was agreeing with you and adding on to it, but I do understand like my own perception of like that then. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like I think that the assumption of how things have been is dying out, and it's like we're really seeing a surge of indie creators and people genuinely creating. Like these corporations, they still want to try and have a hold on all of this, but we
Hmm.
don't have to let them have it. You know, and they're obviously like floundering and wasting billions of dollars or whatever just to have a logo than to actually like care about the creations. Like I'm so mad at how they did the company that had robots, because now it's just nothing anymore. You know?
Uh-huh.
It's really fucked. Like, and robots were so good too. I even played the GBA game. And I love that too. And I still play it.
Robots. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it's like this movie about a inventor robot who wants to see the big inventor guy of that century or something. He tries to find him, but he ends up getting shoved out by like the people that are mainly running it. Or at least being the faces of running it while he's not really there. And then it's like this inventor robot goes and finds like different robots and stuff who end up being like kind of recalled, like because this society was made off of like people being able to invent and being able to like you can be the inventor you wanted to be. That was like the original slogan, but now they're like having people go obsolete, and then when they do, they end up getting their parts taken and remade for better, in quotation parts. And that's kind of like they're trying to and they try to go against the grain of that, because they're like, it's not right, like kind of stuff. And it's actually so good, and I think you need to watch it if you haven't yet. Truly.
Okay.
And yeah, it just kind of like, it gives me the same things of just how so much of this is so much of just nepotist bullshit, and I don't think we ever really needed it as much as it needs us to like enable the nonsense, you know what I mean? And I honestly haven't been in a movie theater in years. Like, even before the pandemic, I didn't go to the movie theater for years because people didn't treat those things right. It was always overpriced. Like, you can get something for $1 and it's like $5 over there. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Honestly, fuck that. And then it's like, they don't even have, like, a lot of them don't even have like good entertainment things. The one I had used to have like a Galaga game thing. Like arcade. They used to have like an arcade box so you could play Galaga and Pac-Man on. But they got rid of it. So then I was like, fuck you for that. like fuck that. And now I have Namco Museum, and I don't have to pay any movie theaters or arcades to play Galaga anymore, so that's awesome, whatever. But yeah, like, it's just a whole thing. And I feel like with the future of it, we're just gonna get better with time. I feel like we're already like running, and I've been seeing such amazing just works of genuine art created by people who really care about what they put out versus this corporate nonsense, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
No,
you did it.
Huh?
You did it.
I did. Thank you. Oop. Phone ever just freeze. There we go. Okay, so the last question of the time. What do we think about how people act about society and the perception of people as a whole? Like, while social media has become more prevalent in our society today?
Okay. I have to think about that. I have to.
Yeah. I'll answer it. Because you've honestly answered the things first, like the first 2 times, so I'll answer it. I'm reading the comments right now. But what are we gonna do without... This is Jenny. But what are we gonna do without rich old dudes that ruin just exactly everything?
Yeah.
And then Veda, it'll definitely come, and I'm excited for all the future works of yours, whatever the medium. Oh, thank you. And yeah, right? 2 types of people, but same good points. No, with our society, it is really interesting, isn't it, how we've been able to really interact and talk with each other a lot. But it's like, I think the thing that bothers me a lot with online is that a lot of people treat online as if it's not real life or something, and I'm like, I don't really... It's like that disconnect has really affected how people treat others online, and it's really like messed the fuck up, And then a lot of the times, like, we have people and regulations, and they'll just, because it's not as regulated, the tech, field, not the tech field, but the internet, the things that are like this or whatever, is not as regulated. It's kind of a no man's land of like not really having a genuine thing. Whoops. Random alarm. But
I thought it was me.
Like, honestly, it's one of those alarms that I have because I kind of hate it, so I always turn it off immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it'll wake you up. Like, but yeah, it's like they have it so it's easier to chip at people's privacy and then things like that, and it, like, I just don't think that it has to be so unregulated, so barren land, whatever, of just nonsense and people treating it like it's not a real thing when it's very well our reality and a universe within our own universe,
Yeah.
I think, and it's like we can navigate it. I feel it may seem like a lot, but it's just that so many corporations don't do shit, and that's the issue too. Like they're the ones that protect and enable the nonsense because nothing really gets done by these corporations, and then people wonder why it's so like all over the place, and it just literally doesn't have to be, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you. I think that you make a good point that when people say that what people do on the internet is not real life, right? That makes people that becomes kind of like an excuse for people to be
awful,
the worst people ever online, because they're like, oh, this is a pretend world, so then I'm going to be a villain in this pretend world, and then it doesn't matter what I do, what I say to people, and nothing. It doesn't really matter because like this is a pretend world, and it's like, no, because people really do get affected by what happens and what people do to them on the internet, or what people say. Even though like a lot of people say, no, I don't care what people think about me and this and that, but then
social
they
media
take steps.
so many.
They do take steps into not seeing negative comments, or like they disable the comments, or like whenever a person says something like criticizes them or something, they block them immediately so that they don't have to deal with any of that. So everybody cares, like I mean, but yeah, that enables people, paying that enables people to just be the worst people ever on the internet.
Yeah, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad.
Yeah, because I think those are the same people who go like, oh, if you didn't want it stolen, then you shouldn't have put it on the internet. I think that those are the same people who go like that.
Type Venn diagram, it's a circle kind of thing. And then Veda said, and disabled people are often left out of this conversation. And people are even more emboldened online because they think they can hide or they won't be held accountable because it's not real. I love seeing it come back to bite them. I do too. I feel you. I hear you a lot. And a lot of the times, like, a lot of disabled people too, like, sometimes people are able to leave, and even before, like, the pandemic and all, it was like people weren't really able to like leave that easily either because immunocompromised, all these other things. So they'd be online and have to deal with like this stuff, and then you get that's the time when you're able to be on here and you're trying your best to exist in a world that makes it hard for you to really go out, like physically and stuff. And then you just have this people acting so awful to each other. And a lot of people, they'll use whatever narrative they can to be marginalizing bastards across the board. And it's just it's not cool, it's not fair. And I don't get why people are like, oh, you have a safe space. Well, your home is a safe space. Why are people why do people hate people having boundaries and wanting to feel safe? Why is it so put down? You know, just for the sake of, I guess people, I mean, it's online and offline, you see it a lot of people just, like, being absolute bullies for what reason about it, about people just wanting to genuinely feel nice and well, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And the way, I was thinking about this, but I don't remember what I wanted to say on this topic.
Like,
and then like everything moves so fast too. Like, people can be enraged about one thing like today, but then by, I don't know, by Monday, they already forgot about it because everything moves so quickly now.
It's really odd. I don't get how people can just forget what happens in history. Like we shouldn't rewrite history, and we shouldn't forget it. I feel like we could learn a lot more from things if we didn't just have this, or just like, I guess people in general didn't have this like goldfish mentality of, well, that was last week, you know? Because I mean, it still happened, it still existed or whatever, but then it's like a lot of people don't get held accountable for the things because people are always searching for the next, you know, they're searching for the next craze, the next thing to get mad about, versus actually like trying to be genuine people in a society, you know, in the sense of just trying to acknowledge that multiple people exist at once, and we should be mindful of ourselves, I guess. Music's so pretty. Hear a lot, yeah.
I'm still thinking about what I wanted to say, but I guess I forgot.
It's so good. I mean, oh yeah, writing it down does make it easier. But I mean, okay. Do you want me to ask you the question again? Maybe it'll
No, it's just that I know I wanted to say something, but I just cannot remember it. My brain, I can't.
That's fair. Okay. Let me see. Because it's like, when people on society, it is interesting, I guess, just how social media has made it so much easier to connect with one another, you know? And
at the same time, to be so disconnected from people because of what we said. So it's kind of interesting that it's both at the same time.
It's such a double-edged sword, like literally in every sense of the word, you could say. Which is interesting, but also like, we could do so much better. We really could. I think I've seen people that are like really useful though. Like, I've been able to have like genuine conversations, and I mean, I know that there's always people in the politics or whatever trying to, you know, grandstand and have us divided and stuff or whatever, but I've seen a lot more people care and be genuine than this extremist bullshit that's getting peddled to us, you know? And yeah, a lot of people, they kind of forget things. Like, I always have this saying, ignorance isn't bliss. Oh wait, ignorance is only bliss to those not affected by said ignorance. And I feel like that's pretty true across the board. Even, but it's like, even then, like, people who play this willfully ignorant game, who play this, you know, just not informing themselves genuinely enough on a platform that they could literally search it if they wanted to, you know, it,
I see
it
what you
says a
mean.
lot, you know, because it's like people would rather waste their time, you know, going with the hive mind mob mentality and like just not really being genuinely informed about the things they talk about when they literally are using the same platform so they can look it up and type what they want and find multiple sources of across like 1,000 boards, over 1,000 boards. Who the fuck knows at this point, right? It's just so like, I guess it's just sad to me because it's such a waste of people's time. I suppose I could say, like, why would people waste their time like that? Why don't people genuinely use the internet for information, but they search for misinformation instead? What is the point of that? Why do we do that? You're all good. Thoughts are thoughts. It's been a nice talk. But honestly, it is
I
getting
think
common.
that. Oh, sorry.
You think that what?
I think that with what you wanted, what you were saying, right? That it's like, okay, you have you have information at the tip of your fingers because you have your phone, right? But then it's like when you try to, when you don't know anything about a topic or like whatever you want to learn, that it's something that affects other people, right? When you start looking at things, you're never sure if you're going to find the information that is that is good information or the something that is going to be misleading and make it worse. Because like everybody says Google it, like Google is free, like you can Google shit, and it's like, yeah, but like if you Google, you can Google whatever, but then you're gonna get information that it's like that is going to benefit you, but also information that is going to lead you astray. And then like sometimes it's difficult to see which one is which, especially when you don't know anything about the topic.
That is true.
Or about the, yeah, like about, like, for example, like when it comes to autism, right? If you start searching like autism and all that stuff, like the first thing that is, or like one of the first things that is going to pop up is going to be like Autism Speaks. And then you're going to think, and it's like an organization and this and that. And then you're going to think, oh my God, this is a good organization. Oh my God, let me go to them and let me get my info from them, because so many people think that this corporation or this place is really good and they're really doing awesome things. And it turns out they're not. They're like, autistic people fucking hate Autism Speaks, because they believe that they can cure autism, and that's what they dedicate themselves to do. Like, no, like, we can cure it. Like, you don't get it. Like like autistic people are missing the piece of the puzzle. That's what it is. We need to find the fucking piece that is missing. You guys, you don't get it. Or like with animal protection and stuff, like the thing that pops up, it would be PETA, and then like people, oh my God, yeah, like oh my God, they're like pro animal, and they're like they're not a good organization. Yeah. So then, you know,
it's like, where do we go when it's like, because it's also like, I'm not gonna lie, there's like billions of dollars put into like spreading misinformation campaigns to keep the masses ignorant, and that is something that we need to keep in mind. And like, you know, because if there were like genuine tutorials or something to really like help try and combat the misinformation campaigns, it could go a long way. I feel it's just that we really need to have more of a combined effort versus just being like treating it as if it's only an individual basis. Like I get that, you know, everyone's footprint matters, every like what we put out in this world matters, but it's like how we actually act like a community matters too. Like it takes a village to really be a society, you know. It takes multiple villages, really.
And then, like, it's not people's job to be telling people or like to be teaching people anything, right? Like it's not black people's jobs to be teaching people about the suffering that black people have gone through, or like for Latinos to be educating. You know, it's like it goes on and on and on. Like it's nobody's job to be like teaching people shit, right? And that's valid, that's true, and it is valid, but at the same time, for people who don't know, it becomes more difficult to find the correct info on a lot of topics, on a lot of things that
because it's also
they need to be changed within people, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I hear what you're saying. And it's like, you know, we can all learn, we can all genuinely inform ourselves, but we do need to, like, actually try and pay more attention, I guess. Because I feel like a lot of it is that if we genuinely learned how to talk with each other and genuinely had conversations where we, you know, like a lot of people, they try and talk and they do it to respond versus to listen and actually have like genuine feedback and criticism, you know? And I think that's really hindering a lot of people from genuinely coming to their own conclusions and having their own thoughts and really making their own opinions based on the facts of the matter of what they find, you know? Like, there's just a balance that can definitely be had. We just got to be more mindful about it. And
yeah, and also like just expecting people to be like, no, you tell me, that's not a good approach either.
It's not, like, because people that, like, if people aren't, like, you know, taught in that field, then, or, like, you know, trained to be a teacher of something, it's not inherently going to go well. But it's also, like, people do need to also acknowledge how, like, across a bunch of industries, there's, like, ableist, racist, phobic bullshit all across it, too. So we do need to be, like, you gotta try and listen to people. I guess it's more of a if people genuinely try to listen to their communities and really like research, you know, and not just like their communities, but listen to other people like outside of their perspective. And like, because so many people, they expect that their experience has to be the only one that exists, and it's just that multiple experiences can exist at once. That's just what it is. We don't have to act like we're erased by, you know, whatever nonsense or whatever. We're all breathing, you know. And I hear you a lot. It was a nice convo, but it is getting kind of late. We can maybe like finish this another time if we want to add more onto it. And if you're listening and you like have any thoughts about this, let us know in the comments, talk with us or whatever, because I really want to know what people think, and it's interesting talking with people, and I really genuinely think that things don't have to be like this. We can definitely make things better. We can go leaps and bounds ahead of this back and forth bullshit. You know, we can all learn. Yeah. You have any last things? Alright. It was awesome. It's always nice having you.
See you, everybody. Bye.
See ya. Later, everyone. Hope you have good days. Oh hey bitch. We're about to end it. Actually. Thanks for coming by though. If you want, like, you can check out the stream, and leave comments of what you think, and I'll totally respond to you in the things and stuff. It'll be totally cool. Video. Be safe. I'm gonna hear you a whole lot.